Hi all, at Kode. I'm Andy Dowsett. I'm the founder of System 9, and what I'm going to do is just give you a brief introduction on how System 9 can work in your academy. Looking at your goals, you ask first for clear stages. What I've written that is now worldwide and it started with our mini red book, okay, so I can send you these if you need them as well, is 9 stages, and the 9 stages literally take you from a beginner to a well-rounded percentage tennis player. So what I mean, tactically, they're good players. Technically, they're also decent level players. All the way through this, which is what you wanted in goal 2, it says you wanted pathway with markers for the talented players, or, you know, for the talent pathway. This is very simple. When you get to about stage 5 here, and we can go through this later on in more depth if you needed to, but again, I can send you the books that all the coaches will get. We've got an online courses that all the coaches can get, so they can actually look at this anytime they want. When they get to stage 5, we start looking at competition. So again, you wanted more camps, events, clinics, tournaments, visits, competitions. It's all covered in the 9 stages and more that we've written. So we've written about 10 books that is going to help all our coaches, all our players, and it keeps the parents involved as well. But just a quick thing on talent. If we're building our centre up, we get 4 types of players. So if we had talent here, so we've got talent on the side, and then we've got people that are committed. So our committed players. The big buzzword is let's find all the talent. Well, look, in 30 years of coaching and traveling the world, I've lectured around the world and stuff like this. You get your players, they've got a huge amount of talent, and that's great, but they sit on it. Not as much commitment. And these are the type of players that break your heart. You've got to get these players with no talent and no commitment. They'll drop in, they'll drop out. We've got to cater for them anyway. You'll also get the players, which, and these aren't bad. These are the players with average, so we've got average talent. They're not brilliant, they're not bad, but they've got a huge amount of commitment. These are the ones we'd be looking for in our academy or in your academy. Obviously, you've also got the ones with no talent, but a lot of commitment as well. We need to cater for all. Hopefully, we don't get too many of these because they don't show any interest, no commitment, and they've obviously got no talent either. But this is going to build your business. Now, to set up the academy, we will pretty much come over to you. We'll do Zoom calls as well, but we'll come over to you. We'll introduce our Red Bull, which is not just Red Bull, our 9 stages of Red Bull, which is from 4 to 8 years old. So this here is literally a 4-year program with markers. So we've got all the booklets from lesson planning, and there's a course on that as well, to player planning for our better players. We've got little booklets that the players take away as well, and we tick and mark every time they hit one of their markers. So all the way through, there's no reason why our coaches don't teach time and time again, week in, week out, and we can monitor that quite easily. So that's another one you wanted. Once we set up the academy, we implement the monitoring system. Very simple to just ask to see the books. Coaches can do that, parents get to see that, I get to see that, you get to see that as well, okay? Obviously, we can form collaborations, which is the other thing that you needed, the other thing that you wanted. I've got a worldwide reach, and so has Mark Wylam as well, but a worldwide reach that we can reach out to anyone from America to China to Australia. We can bring anyone in that you need for education, for road shows, you name it, I've got it, right down to one of Djokovic's coaches, okay? Now, I know you were interested in a timeline, so the timeline for this is pretty much down to you at the end of the day. If we look at the timeline, the number 1 thing we need to do is obviously hire the head coach. Obviously, I need to be able to get the role as well, okay, but then we need to hire the head coach. Once we've got the head coach, we can then pretty much deliver the program or get a hold of the program, so we need to write the program. Is our next one. So we go from writing a program to obviously setting goals for the program and the players. That pretty much comes here. Obviously, we need then a workforce, depending on how many people are in the program. I don't know what you've got at the moment, what you've got set up, but we can discuss that later on. Once we've done that, obviously, straight away, once we've got the workforce, and even from the head coach, we could do that pretty much straight away from the head coach, I can give them all my online courses. And the online courses are everything from the red ball to the orange ball. So orange ball is literally just the next stage on. So it's the 5th year to the green ball, which is the 6th year. Yellow ball is another 4-year stage. That'll take hold of a 10-year program. We've got patterns of play that we can teach them. We've got doubles we can teach them, right down to the psychology. And again, this is all stuff that we can give to our players. We can give them to our coaches. The coaches have everything in front of them to run the program. All I've got to come along is, and that's obviously our next thing, is visit to educate. And we can put a timeline on this in a minute. Visit to educate the coaches, but it'll be nice if they've already done the online courses. What a difference that'll make. That's a time saver. From there, obviously, it'd be nice if we needed to, not necessary, we could set up a mentor program for any of our coaches that need that little bit more. So they can get hold of me once a week, once a month, just to dial in with me, say, look, I need help with this. Can you help me program this? What do I do here? Not a problem. I mentor people left, right, and centre all over the world. So we'll have Zoom meetings for this. Obviously, at some stage, you're going to need to expand the program. So we need to write in, once we've got this, where would we expand the program as well? Because it's going to get busy. I run a club at the moment that's done this, and within 4 months, we've gone from 10 juniors when I took over to just under 60 at the moment. And as I said, this is used worldwide to grow programs, which inadvertently improves the players, improves the coaches, parents are happy, and it improves the profit margin, which is what we're after. And then finally, we've got the revisiting of the club, just to make sure that everything is running smoothly. And again, we've got the Zoom calls for that. Once we've hired the head coach and you're happy, if you're happy with System 9 to take over and myself, then we can get straight on to writing a tennis program. I don't need to visit the club for that. We can get on the Zoom call. I can talk to the head coach. We can get on with that straight away. We can set the goals. This can be done within a week or two of you taking on a head coach. We do need a bigger workforce. I need to know where you're going to take that from, but I have courses to train assistants up. So I've already invented a course. I've run courses that train assistants just to purely help the coaches when the numbers get bigger. Okay, so that's already, when I come over for my visits, I can teach the coaches that. They can run with that themselves. So once we set the goals and we expand the workforce again, I would need to visit that, which I've got to visit Kode, which is here. So once I've visited, they've seen their online courses. This is going to make my job easier here. That could be within 2 or 3 weeks from me getting the role, you getting a head coach. There's no reason why within 2 to 3 weeks I'm not over there starting to educate. But they can get the online courses earlier, so they can be looking at those within the weeks prior. From then on, once we visited, it's just off we go. So there's no reason why we can't get this off the ground running. As soon as you're happy with what we do, I can give you more information. Look at my site, system-9.com. There's a Learn Worlds aspect to that, which you can go into. Your coaches can get access to everything that I've got. I look forward to hearing from you.